So let's set the scene. It's last night.
Right. Wednesday, January 28th.
We're at the Dolby Live at Park MGM in Las Vegas. The lights are down.
And the whole feel is different.
It's intimate, it's enclosed. It's not one of those huge, roaring, open-air stadiums we're so used to seeing.
Not at all. And on stage is Zayn Malik.
He's about midway through his show. It's one of the last nights of his residency.
The Stairway to the Sky residency.
The band goes quiet. He kind of wipes the sweat from his brow, looks out at the crowd, maybe 5,000 people, and leans into the mic.
And then he says it. The line that just completely froze the internet.
He goes, I just want to say a big, big thank you for being here with me tonight. Hopefully the ticket prices weren't too high.
And then that little kicker at the end.
Just saying anyway.
Oh, the reaction was instant. You could just feel it.
First gasps, right. Then this wave of cheers, but it was mixed with this, shocked laughter.
Because everybody knew.
Everybody in that room knew exactly who and what he was talking about.
This wasn't just some random stage banter.
No, this was a shot fired directly across the bow of the biggest music story of the week.
The cameras flashed. The crowd froze. And just like that fragile little truce we thought we saw between the One Direction guys at Liam Payne's funeral.
It felt like it was officially broken. Welcome to StarScope Report. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Jamie. And today, we are not just reading you the headlines.
No, we are diving deep into a story that's about, broken friendships, yeah, but also aggressive economics.
And maybe the entire future of live music.
We're unpacking the Together Tour controversy. Harry Styles is back with a new album, Kiss All The Time. Disco, occasionally.
But nobody's talking about the disco.
No, they are talking about the debt.
They're talking about the money, and they're talking about Zayn Malik taking a very public, very subtle dig at Harry's ticket prices from a stage in Vegas.
So our mission today is to figure out, is this just petty drama between two guys who used to be in a band?
Or is this actually a sign that the live music industry has, fundamentally broken its contract with the fans?
It's a big question, and we have to start with the moment that lit the fuse.
Let's do it. Segment 1, the Las Vegas Shade.
Zayn breaks his silence and the internet. I mean, that was the vibe this morning, but you really need the context here.
Okay, lay it out.
Zayn's in the middle of a 7-night residency, and this is a big deal because historically, Zayn doesn't tour.
Right. He's been super open about his anxiety with live shows.
Which is why the venue is so important. Dolby Live, it holds, about 5,200 people?
It's designed to feel safe, controlled, intimate. He's debuting these really personal new songs like Die For Me and Fatal.
The whole point of this run was connection, not spectacle.
Exactly.
So last night, he pauses between songs, does the usual crowd work, who's from Vegas, who traveled to get here.
Standard stuff.
And then he just drops that line, hopefully the ticket prices weren't too high.
Ugh. It was the delivery for me.
Yep.
That little just say it anyway at the end. That is the universal code for, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know I'm being messy, but I'm going to pretend this is just a casual thought.
It's textbook plausible deniability.
Absolutely. But, okay, let's fact check him. Is he just throwing stones from a glass house here?
We have to look at the data, right? Shady Zayn started trending almost immediately. People were calling him bitter.
But if you take the drama out of it for a second and just look at the actual numbers, he kind of has a point.
He does. Zayn's tickets for this residency started at around $30 to $50.
$30 in 2026. For an artist of his size, that's unheard of.
That's barely covering the venue costs. And even on the secondary market, the average price is only about $200. It's accessible.
You could actually go see him and not have to, sell a kidney.
Right. And when you compare that to what we're about to get into with Harry's tour, the contrast is just, it's stark.
But before we get to the math, we have to talk about the history. Why did this comment from him feel so loaded?
Because it's Zayn and Harry. You can't just ignore a decade of tension.
He was the first one to leave the band in 2015. That wound never really healed, at least not publicly.
And it's not like Harry hasn't thrown a punch before. I mean, remember 2019, his Saturday Night Live monologue?
Oh, I remember it vividly.
He's doing the monologue. He's listing his old bandmates. Neil, Liam, Louis.
And then he pauses.
Yeah.
Pretends he forgot Zayn's name.
Yeah.
And calls him Ringo.
Ringo.
I mean, comedically, it was brilliant, but it was also a knife. It just showed you, okay, there is no love lost here.
And yeah, we know they were both at Liam Payne's funeral recently, which was just heartbreaking. But reports said they were civil.
Civil but distant. They weren't hugging it out.
So this comment from Zayn isn't coming out of nowhere. It's built on 10 years of silence and these little
He
jabs.
didn't just pick a random topic to be shady about.
Uh-huh.
He picked the absolute sorest subject in the entire music industry right now.
He poked the bruise.
He really did.
Coming up, we are going to look at the price tag that made an Oasis brother, a man who is famous for not caring about literally anything, scream how much on social media.
When you've managed to shock a Gallagher with your prices, you know you've gone to a very dark place.
All right, let's get into it. Segment 2, the together pricing scandal.
Or as I saw one fan put it on X, capitalism all the time. Music, occasionally.
That's brutal, but maybe not wrong.
So let's break down the Together tour.
Okay, so Harry Styles announces his huge return. All the branding is about community, warmth, inclusivity.
The title itself, Together, implies we're all in this as one.
But the format of the tour is really unique. It's a global residency model. He is only playing 7 cities.
In the entire world.
Total. So it's 50 shows, but they're all clustered in these massive chunks.
And this is such a crucial detail. Instead of a normal bus tour that hits like Cleveland and Manchester and Philly,
Right.
he's doing 30 nights, 30, at Madison Square Garden.
And 12 nights at Wembley in London.
From a business perspective, for the artist, it makes a lot of sense. It cuts down on travel costs for the whole production.
It's better for the environment. You're not moving 50 semi-trucks across the country every single night. But it creates this massive supply bottleneck.
You're concentrating the entire global demand into these tiny geographical points.
So Monday, January 26th, the Amex and the artist pre-sales open up. What happens?
Complete and utter chaos.
It was a digital stampede. Ticketmaster reported that 11.5 million people registered for the New York City pre-sale.
Alone.
Alone!
Okay, let's just sit with that number for a second. 11.5 million people.
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden, what does it hold for a concert? Like 20,000?
About that, yeah. He's doing 30 nights, so that's roughly 600,000 tickets total.
The math is just terrifying.
It's a 5% chance of success if everyone only bought 1 ticket. It was the highest volume they'd ever recorded for a single market presale.
But the volume wasn't even the main problem, was it?
No. It was the price tag attached to that volume.
Okay, hit me with the numbers. I've seen the screenshots, but I need the official breakdown.
According to reports from fans, and this data was verified by The Hollywood Reporter, face value, and I need to stress, this is not resale.
This is the price set by the tour itself.
Correct. For Madison Square Garden, it started at $50.
Which, okay, that sounds reasonable.
For the absolute worst seats in the house, the nosebleeds behind the stage with an obstructed view, the standard seats, the preferred pricing seats in the lower bowl, they went up to $1,182.40.
Wait, $1,000 for one seat, not a VIP package.
No meet and greet, no sound check, just a chair.
That's rent. For a lot of people, that's 2 months' rent.
VIP packages went up to $1,667, and it wasn't much better in the UK. At Wembley, standing tickets were around £280.
In top seats.
£466. VIP over $725.
We need to get into the technicals here, because Ticketmaster's trying to spin this. They're saying this isn't dynamic pricing, right?
Correct, and that's a really important distinction. Dynamic pricing is the algorithm. It's the computer watching demand in real time and jacking up the price like an Uber surge while you're trying to check out.
Which is awful. But this is different.
They're calling it preferred pricing, which implies premeditation.
Human intervention.
Exactly. It means the tour organizers, the promoters, and yes, probably the artist management, sat in a room and decided, yes, a fan should pay $11,182 to sit in section 1 or 4.
To be honest, that almost feels worse. Dynamic pricing feels like a rogue robot. This feels like a calculated decision to squeeze every last penny out of your most loyal fans.
The reaction online was just...
Yep.
It was visceral. People were posting screenshots of their carts and then abandoning them.
One viral tweet said, taking a breath costs $20 in this economy.
And the irony, calling the tour together.
It feels like together with the 1%. If 99% of your fans can't afford to be there, who are you actually together with?
It even got to other celebrities. Liam Gallagher, who's got his own ticket pricing stuff going on with Oasis.
He tweeted 2 words, how much shit?
And then joked that his own reunion prices looked reasonable now.
When Liam Gallagher is your voice of financial reason, you know we've entered a very strange timeline.
Now, in fairness, and we have to be fair, there is a counter-argument. Harry's doing something charitable here.
Right, we should mention that. He is donating £1 from every UK ticket to the Live Trust to support grassroots music venues.
Which is great. That's going to raise about £780,000.
I genuinely love that. Grassroots venues are dying.
Yeah.
But does a £1 donation justify a £466 ticket?
That's the whole debate. The ratio is the problem.
It feels like charging someone $100 for a sandwich and then saying, but don't worry, 10 cents goes to a food bank.
It's a good gesture, but it feels like a shield. And then there's the whole logic of the residency model itself.
Okay, break this down, because I think people just assume big shows cost big money.
The most expensive part of any tour is moving it. It's a traveling circus. 50 trucks, crew buses, hotels every night, building and tearing down the stage.
It costs millions.
A residency gets rid of almost all of that. The stage sits there, the crew stays put, the overhead drops like a rock.
So theoretically, that saving should be passed on to the fan.
Or at least keep prices stable. Instead, the overhead went down and the ticket prices went through the roof. The savings weren't shared, they were just pocketed.
It's pure profit maximization.
But wait, it actually gets messier. It's not just about the money, it's about who even gets to go.
And that leads us to the dark underbelly of how these tickets are actually sold. If you're loving this breakdown of the Styles versus Malik saga, definitely hit that subscribe button. We've got way more deep dives into the 2026 music scene coming up.
All right, segment 3, the aftermath and the industry war.
There's a real divide happening in the fan base. It's not just One Direction infection anymore. It's Team Harry versus Team Zayn.
And it's fascinating how Zayn, who's mostly stayed out of the spotlight, just aligned himself with the people by making one comment.
He became the voice of the frustrated fan.
Meanwhile, Harry, whose whole brand is built on treat people with kindness, is being painted as completely out of touch. It's a brand crisis.
And it's getting legal attention, too.
Yeah, New York State Senator James Scoofy specifically called out the tour. He was talking about speculative ticketing.
We should explain that term because it's so insidious.
It's basically selling air. It's where scalpers list tickets on StubHub for, like, $10,000 before the tickets have even gone on sale.
They don't have the ticket. They're just betting they can get one and then flip it to you. It creates this false scarcity.
And let's not forget, the Department of Justice filed that big antitrust lawsuit against Live Nation and Ticketmaster back in 2024.
This tour is basically Exhibit A for why that lawsuit exists.
It highlights the monopoly. If you want to see Harry, you have to go through this one system. There's no other option.
And that's the cultural shift that worries me. The residency model. Is this the future?
I mean, think about it.
If you live in Nashville or Berlin or anywhere that's not one of these 7 cities, Harry's not coming to you. You have to fly to him.
So now the cost isn't just the $1,000 ticket, it's the flight. It's the hotel in New York, which is insane. It's your meals.
The Together tour is now a luxury vacation package.
Which just deepens the divide. You look at someone like Louis Tomlinson, another former bandmate.
Right.
He's out there doing traditional tours, and he is actively fighting to keep his prices low. He cancels scalper tickets.
So you have this split in the 1D legacy. Louis and Zayn are seen as the accessible ones, and Harry's becoming the exclusive one.
Which is wild because he's arguably the most popular.
But that popularity creates demand, and in this industry, unchecked demand just creates exploitation.
The hard reality is Harry will sell out.
Oh, absolutely. 11.5 million people tried to get tickets. Even if 90% of them back out, he still sells out Madison Square Garden 30 times over.
The demand is real. But what's the long-term damage to the brand?
What's the cost to treat people with kindness? You can't treat people with kindness if you're asking them to choose between paying rent and hearing Watermelon Sugar live.
Before we go, we have one last question that might just change how you see your favorite artist.
Oh boy. I'm ready for the existential crisis. Lay it on me.
Okay, so we've recapped the whole thing. The huge tour, the pricing scandal, the former bandmate throwing shade.
Yep.
Here is the big thought. In an era of, as the fans call it, capitalism all the time, do we need to stop viewing concerts as a right?
Oof. That's harsh.
We treat music like it's a public utility, a communal campfire that belongs to everyone. But if a ticket is $1,000 and it involves flights and hotels...
But it's just a luxury product now.
Is seeing Harry Styles live the same as buying a Gucci bag?
It hurts to hear that. But you might be right. If it's priced like a luxury good, and it's marketed like a luxury good, and it's scarce like a luxury good,
it's a luxury.
It's not for everyone anymore. It's for the people who can afford the entry fee.
And if that's true, does a $1,000 ticket officially kill that community spirit that Harry Styles himself claims to champion?
Can you even have a community when the price of admission excludes the vast majority of people who built that community to begin with?
I think Zayn might have answered that last night on stage.
Hopefully the ticket prices weren't too high. It sounded like a joke, but it might just be the most important critique of the music industry we've heard all year.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining, even if we can't afford to go see them. See you next time.